None of us has the same parents. My return from Dundee, Scotland, spring 1814. At first I was afraid to leave my home, to leave my father's care, knowing that my banishment to the Baxters meant to punish me. My arm of pustules and pain represented all the ways I could not be well and good in my own house. But I found a family in Scotland, a family like I had read about in books, where the mother and father care for one another and all the children are their own. I found girlfriends in Scotland, the two daughters of the Baxters, Isabella and Christina. We became as inseparable as words and letters. My arm healed and my temper soothed. My imagination awoke like a sleeping giant in that stark landscape, and I began to write stories. I returned to my house of chaos calmer and more assured. There is so much of the greater world I know now will be a part of me, and I am not afraid. Mr. Shelley, May 5th, 1814. He is the buzz of our Spinner Street home when at 16 I return permanently from Dundee. No other topic passes between anyone's lips. Jane declares that when Mr. Shelley falls silent, the air ceases circulation, that when a smile flushes his countenance, the room boils with laughter, and even quiet Fanny agrees. But I remembered Mr. Shelley from my visit home the year before as more buzzard than noteworthy, fairy-like with the curly blonde hair of a schoolgirl, his hands frail as silk stockings. I remember he stood beside his wife, and I wondered who wore the dress. In a voice pert as a baby starling, he had proclaimed my father was a genius who deserved his financial support, and I admired Mr. Shelley for that. But the ceaseless obsession that my stepmother, the woman of scales and dread, my siblings, and even my father seemed to have for Mr. Shelley is comedy. No man can live up to it. Jane smirks. You'll see his noble birth, his high ideals. You'll choke on your coal-stained doubts. I roll my eyes at my stepsister, thump downstairs in my blue everyday frock, because why would I dress up to dine with some pansy of a man? Even his name sounds like a girl, Shelley. But when I slink into the parlour, Mr. Percy Shelley traps his gaze upon my brow so tight I cannot inhale, and then he gasps as if I am a masterwork. I stand, stunned. He, genuflects, before me. No one has ever looked at me, and certainly no one has ever looked at me like this, like I am anything sigh-worthy, something to hang diamonds on. This man who owns the breath of my father stares at me as though I am holy. When Mr. Shelley introduces himself to me this second time, I swear I smell rosehips and lavender on his palms. I glance around and smile to find that this evening his wife is not in attendance. What if he likes me? May 1814. What if it was not only awe and admiration for my breeding, but something more that caught Mr. Shelley's eye, something particular about me? What if he calls again? What shall I wear? How coy should I act? What exactly have I to say to him? What if he didn't care for me at all, and I imagined the moment happening between us? What if he never calls again, and I am left to wonder what might have been? He is yet a stranger to me, and then somehow I feel as though I have known him for many years now, as though he may be the one I imagined would come and whisk me away like a valiant soldier rescuing me from the prison of my house. He comes to call, May 1814. At first, one can be certain whom Mr. Shelley intends to visit, and that name begins not with an M. He and my father argue into the night about politics, while Jane and I hide on the stairs catching phrases as if they sate, like they are crumbs for the starving. We listened to Mr. Coleridge's poem The Rime of the Ancient Mariner when I was a little girl, in much the same manner, hiding behind a chair. I saw nightmares because of it for a year. Now what I hear, the sweet tones of father's and Mr. Shelley's sharp intellects, breeds dreams when I sleep. He glimpses me one night as I